Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley is this weekend, and I'm going to be honest, Kamaru Usman is a way bigger underdog than I imagined. Right now, he's sitting at a plus 215, and considering his last fight was against Khamzat Chimaev, and it was a razor-thin, close fight, some people thought it was a robbery, and now he's a plus 215 against Joaquin Buckley. That caught me a little off guard, but his fight against Khamzat Chimaev was 2 years ago, and Usman is now 38 years old. The big elephant in the room with this fight is that Kamaru Usman is past his prime. He's slowing down, his knees are deteriorating. And on the other hand, you have Joaquin Buckley. He's like 31 years old. He's the younger guy. He has crazy momentum right now. He just finished Colby Covington in his last fight in an absolutely dominant performance. But I think this fight may be closer than we're expecting, especially with the way the odds are. And let's actually break this fight down, starting with their attributes. Kamaru Usman 6 foot with a 76-inch reach. Joaquin Buckley's 5'10 with a 76-inch reach. There's not much of a size difference here. But onto the stand-up, where I think this fight's going to take place for majority of the fight. I think Joaquin Buckley actually has much better boxing than Kamaru Usman. Especially in his last fight, his boxing combinations against Colby Covington looked great. I think his boxing is definitely his best part of his game. Also his power. He has a major threat coming from his stand-up. And we all know how Kamaru Usman's stand-up is. He relies heavily on the jab. But on the feet, I think Joaquin Buckley is going to take it. I think he has the advantage on the feet. And that kind of leads me to believe that somewhere throughout the fight, Kamaru Usman is going to try to take this to the ground, because we've seen even Colby Covington have success taking Joaquin Buckley to the ground. And I think Usman will have an ability to score a takedown. But the reason I think it's going to be on the feet for the most part is that Buckley actually has really good takedown defense. And we've seen him struggle to get up on his feet in that Covington fight. But in terms of actually stopping the takedown, he had a lot of success. And I know Kamaru Usman's not Colby Covington, and it's going to be much harder, but I still think he's going to be able to keep it on the feet for the most part. And on the feet, I think Joaquin Buckley will have the slight advantage, but not by much. A big narrative going around with this fight is that Joaquin Buckley is going to starch Kamaru Usman. I just don't think Kamaru Usman's going to get knocked out by Buckley. And if he can't get a finish, I think it's going to be a much different fight than people expect, because the way I really think this goes down is I think it's going to be a close fight and it's probably going to go to decision. And one thing I am worried for Buckley is the wrestling, like I said, and also the cardio, because we all know how Usman fights. One of the best parts of his game is the pressure he has and the cardio he has, how hard he can push. And I think there will be times where Usman is the one who's walking Buckley down, and Buckley's going to have to strike off the back foot, or he's going to have to constantly circle and try to get to the center of the octagon, because I don't think the power Buckley has is going to be enough of a threat to keep Usman on the back foot. So I actually do think this fight's going to be very close, and I think it's going to be a war, because Buckley is a great striker. He has great boxing, like I said, but Usman can also hold his own in the striking. Yeah, he's not the best striker. Sometimes he's sloppy, and you see in like the end of the Khamzat fight where they're just throwing haymakers and it doesn't seem that technical. But if Buckley can't get that knockout and it gets into the later rounds and they're striking back and forth, I think it's going to be a lot more even than when they first start out. And especially if Usman can mix in takedowns, this could be a really close fight, because if Usman doesn't get knocked out, he's not giving up. It's going to be a close fight. It's going to be a gritty fight. It's going to be a war. That's why I'm so excited for this fight. But the bottom line, and the reason I'm picking Buckley to win this, is mainly because of the age factor, which everyone's talking about. Usman has not fought in almost 2 years. And yes, he had a close fight against Khamzat, but he also lost twice before that against Leon Edwards. Look how that loss aged. And I know styles make fights, but I think a lot of people might be overrating Usman slightly in terms of where he's at in his career. And going back down to 170, where people are quicker, Joaquin Buckley is a very quick striker. I think it's going to be too much for him. And the momentum Buckley has right now, he's on a multi-fight win streak, and he's had a great performance against Colby Covington, who you can say what you want, but he's still a decent contender to get a win over, especially like that. Look how Leon Edwards beat Covington. Then look how Buckley beat Covington. That's impressive. But if Usman was in his prime, I probably would lean with Usman. But based off his age and his inactivity, I just can't do it. I can't, especially how young and skilled Buckley's looking. So my final prediction for this fight is Buckley by decision. I think this is going to be a close fight. I do. I think Usman's going to win at least one round, and I think the way he's going to win it probably is by control. I think he can land a takedown sometime throughout the fight, and I think he's going to have the ability to hold Buckley down on the ground. I just don't think he can do it for a majority of the fight. But let me know what you guys think about this matchup. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.